Are you ready to draw the very Scrum framework along with me? Grab your favorite drawing device. I'm going to get my pens and paper back here. Get ready to draw underneath my document camera. Are you ready? Let's do this.
Here's my zoom out technique. We'll loop with an arrow, triangle in front, square at the end, little stick figure, event with product owner, product backlog, product increment, and we'll label with delivery, pinch, expand, pinch in. That's paper prototyping. Oh, there's tons of real estate. Either stay here if you need it. I'm going to go back to this one and start to talk about discovery. In discovery, we're trying to get to the answer to 3 questions. What do people need? Not necessarily what they want. Try to understand what's buried underneath that ask. What really do they need? And that really has value. So that's first part of discovery, is looking at and answering what is valuable. However, we also need to make sure, do they part the experience? If this product idea is usable as well. Hopefully we have on our development team UX. Now we're asking them to do their job here on the Scrum team, but also work side by side with the product owner to make sure what people need, they can actually use. I see this a lot in organizations. A BA getting together with a designer to ideate through and think through screens and all of that. Add on feasibility and have somebody there along for the ride that can answer the question, can we build it? This is a developer that's on this team. Look for the kind of developer that submits ideas to the hackathon to see if this idea that we're finding is valuable and usable, is it really feasible for us to build? Looking at people that can deal with ambiguity, but have enough experience to lead this team in getting the answers to these questions. Remember, these folks are actually a part of the Scrum team. Really, they're meant to help this team in discovery. Be careful of them going off and doing it on their own, or these are the only people that interact with stakeholders. That's not what this is meant to be. As we're trying to answer these questions, there's some ideas, problems worth solving, and experiments, solutions, trying to create a very dynamic opportunity backlog. We can model it out. This is an opportunity canvas. What problem are we solving? Who is it for? What do they do today? Leap of faith assumptions. What are we guessing at? And if we guess wrong, we fail. And I find those leap of faith assumptions, especially where we're taking a swag at things, where we're just guessing, as we're building up this opportunity and doing especially a user research, 2 things start to emerge out in artifacts, the persona. They have different needs and different ways that they access that value. We can start to lay that out as a journey map or a story map. Higher level activities and the tasks underneath them. As we're going through all of these things, we're getting pretty fine-grained and making sure we understand the problem. And everybody has an idea how to solve that problem. Before we jump straight to the solution, take some time and run a design studio. We can create different solutions to the problem. We can create right fidelity prototype. And again, there's this feedback loop from prototypes, goes back into kinds of opportunities that we're looking at, and the kinds of opportunities we look at rolls around into prototypes and product increments that we're building. All of this stuff out here would be discovery. And as we learn, we build. And as we build, we learn more. It's not that we do one and then the other. These are 2 tracks that are constantly making contact. And I try to illustrate this to show that discovery wraps delivery. Because sometimes you deliver a product increment into production, then you learn. Monitoring what's going on with production. These 2 tracks are meant to be always making contact. Usually in a product's development, we start off iterating really fast on learning, and then we slow down as we deliver, and then we learn some more, deliver, learn, and usually finish really strong on that delivery track. Maybe that's a sprint, there's another one, so on. Each sprint has a little bit of a different mix of discovery and delivery in it. If you're doing any of the scaling of approaches, then we could start to think through the next 3 to 5 sprints. What don't we know, where we need to do a lot of learning? And then as we understand the right shape of the product, we really get in the trenches and pour that value in. And then what's a signal from the market market actually get that stuff to them. So we can think about beginning, mid, and end games to release for things at scale. This is my entire picture of dual track Scrum. Some people look at this and they say, this isn't Scrum. Look at all this other stuff on here. The essential Scrum framework is in the middle of it. I was looking at this. It's delivery, discovery. So I'm thinking about calling this very, very Scrum. I find product owners spend the majority of their time making sure everything is ready and prioritized. Pretty much your job inside a sprint is to accept items if they hit the value. Everything to make Scrum work is where I find is a lot of the product owner job.